Take a moment, inhale through your nose, and we're actually going to exhale through our nose to start with. Inhale through your nose. Try and take 5 breaths or 5 seconds to bring it in, and equal that on the way out. One more time, inhale for 5. This time, open your mouth, exhale for 5. Beautiful. All right, as always, standing Pilates posture, feet are parallel to each other. They might be together, they might be hip distance apart. Abs are drawn in, ribs are pulled down. Fingers long, roll those shoulders up, back, and down just a couple of times. Then I want you to take a wider stance, give me a bend of the knees, and extend that spine. So you don't want to be tucked under, you want to be in extension, but that means you have to pull your abs in, right? Bring your arms down a little bit wider as if you're holding a beach ball, and then lift with your elbows. We're starting with just a little bit of posture work here. These are small muscles in between your shoulder blades, and you want to squeeze them together. We're going to add this on in just a moment and make it a little more challenging. Check in, ribs are pulled in, abs are pulled in, tailbone is long, not rounded, spine is long. Last 2 like this, last 1. Shift your weight onto your left leg, move either 1 weight or 2, I'm going to use 1 in this hand, to your left hand. So left knee is bent, right leg is straight back, you're up on those toes. Make sure you have that pitch forward. Oops, changed my mind, I did this wrong. Right leg is forward, left leg is back. Shoulders up out of your ears. Lift that elbow to the sky. So the exact same movement that we just did. Lead with your elbow, it's not straight back, that would be tricep. We're looking for out to the side, there you go. Make sure that elbow has a little bend. And now, for a little extra challenge, pitch forward, lift that left leg up, balance, and lift. Keep that right knee bent, back of the neck is long. Do what you want with your right arm. It could be out to the side, it could be behind you. Keep going. You are lifting the same arm as leg that is back, right? So the back leg and that same arm. And the reason we're doing that is to then also work those obliques a little bit, because your other side, you might notice, is also working a little bit in your torso. Hopefully you feel these. Last 2, last 1. All right, this time your right leg is back and the weight is in your right hand, whether it's 1 or 2 weights. We're going to start that same motion, working that rear deltoid and those rhomboids, those posture muscles. When you're ready, up on those toes. When you're ready for more, find that challenge by coming into that balanced position. Now that left leg should be working some. That right shoulder area, again, posture muscles, those are working. And then again, hopefully you're feeling a little bit of challenge on the left side of your body through the hip, maybe up into that rib cage area to create that challenge and balance. Just a few more here. And gently bring that down. Okay, so hopefully you felt some posture, a little bit of balance, a little bit of leg work, a little bit of oblique work. Come on down, seated position, please. Weights on each side of your body for now. All right, we're going to start from that seated position. Big toes together, hands behind your hamstrings. Notice if you're rounded, sit up nice and tall, bring your head in line with your spine, elbows wide. You're just going to exhale and hinge back, and then from there I want you to pull your ribs down to stabilize. We are staying here in this hinged back position. Make sure your chin's not forward. Grab your weights for me, lift them up, thumbs to the sky, stay back, lift your arms a couple of inches higher, and then back down to shoulder level. So when you lift those arms, your ribs might want to pop, but you are going to stabilize by holding those ribs in place, thumbs still reaching. So now we're working shoulders as well as abs. Back of the neck is long. My chin was a little forward. Make sure you didn't follow the poor role model. Good. 4 more like that. Bring that down. Sit up tall. Give yourself a little extension, stretch out that low back a wee bit. All right, grab hold again, elbows wide, hinge back, ribs down, thumbs are facing up again, weights back in your hands, squeeze back, same motion that we did before when we were pitched forward. Lean back a little farther. Open that chest as you squeeze those shoulder blades together, pulling back. So this is not a chest press. This is a squeeze, again, posture muscles. And relax and come back up and sit up tall. All right, one more round, shoulders up out of your ears, hinge back, elbows wide, ribs pull down, head in line with your spine, back to those weights, bring them in a stick up position this time, squeeze the shoulders out of your ears, squeeze back, squeeze back, squeeze back. So now our arms are both wide and up, and that should be more challenging. My ribs are shaking. I hope yours are. You can probably see my little red, white, and blue headpieces just shake, shake, shake. And last 3, 2, and 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, and relax that down. Woo! Weights to the side. Grab hold of the backs of your legs and let your body just roll down. Lying down position. Hug those knees into your chest. Take a little rock side to side. Have your weights where you can reach them though, please. Okay, so now we're gonna start with some of our more traditional exercises. Going through this with or without the weights, I'll add 1 weight and then 2 weights and you decide where you want to be. So deep breath in, starting with ab prep, pull the belly button in, bring your ribs towards your hips to float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Lift your arms up in the air and then reach them over your head and feel that challenge in your abdominals. And then on the exhale, come back down again. Deep breath in. Exhale to lift. Inhale, arms go up over your head, and exhale, come down. 2 more with no weights. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach. Exhale, down. 1 more deep breath. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach, and exhale, down. Grab just a single weight for now. Bring that right above you, holding on to the ends of the dumbbell with your hands, or if you have a can. Deep breath in, or red, white, and blue soda. Exhale, and then inhale, reach your arms over your head. Now stay here. You should feel that same idea with those ribs having to pull in to kind of keep your torso steady, not shaking as your arms go up over your head. Your arms are by your ears, your biceps are practically touching. You're reaching through your fingers, and then exhale, come down. Inhale. Exhale to lift. Inhale, reach your arms over your head, and exhale down. 2 more like that. Exhale to lift. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale down. Last time, deep breath in. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach, and exhale down. Option now to grab your other weight. And then you have two choices here. Either hands together, deep breath in, exhale, reach, and you can interlace your fingers to hold both weights. And exhale down, inhale to prepare, exhale to lift, inhale to reach, but don't let those ribs pop, and exhale down. Or you could just separate your hands shoulder width apart as you do this. Always inhaling at the bottom and the top and exhaling through the movement. And again, you can choose if you just want 1 weight, that's fine. We're going to do 1 more and then we're going to hold at the top. Deep breath in, exhale, lift, inhale, arms go up overhead. 1 or 2 weights, your choice. I'd like you to stay here. I want you to try to lift your collarbone 1/4 inch higher. I'd like you to drop your thumbs 1/4 inch lower. Nod your head, yes, back of the neck is long, lift those legs, tabletop, deep breath in, tap the sides of your shins, lift a little higher, but don't bring your knees in. Inhale, extend those legs, reach your arms over your head, exhale, tap. Inhale, reach, exhale, tap. So we went right into double leg stretch. If that felt like a lot, go back to that single weight, right? Holding just that single weight. If that still felt like a lot, go back to no weights. If your neck is bothering you, bring your head, neck, and shoulders on the ground. Make sure as you do this that you're not lifting and lowering your head, however. And then if you want to add 1 more fun element, take 1 of the weights and put it below your knees at sort of the fleshy part of your shin bones, your shin area, your calves, so that you can hold it there as you do this same exercise. Inhale to reach, stretch those toes, exhale to tap. Inhale to reach and exhale to tap. Couple more here. Inhale, reaching, abs in, exhale, tap. Inhale, reach, tap. Last one, reach. Stay in that extension, whether you have one weight in each hand, two weights together, one weight at your legs. You're gonna hold here, challenge yourself, point the toes a little harder, reach the arms a little longer, flatten the ribs a little more. Hold 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug those knees in, one weight on each shin. Whew, press that down, and that should give you a nice low back stretch. Beautiful. All right. Let's just keep for now, actually, let's just keep no weights. Let's keep no weights. Legs in tabletop, deep breath in. Exhale, head, neck, and shoulders float off the ground. Extend your right leg up in the air and your left arm. And then on the exhale, reach them away from each other. Do me a favor, look at your left knee, make sure it didn't sneak in. That's kind of cheating. Inhale, center. Exhale, reach left toes, right fingers. Inhale, center. And exhale to reach. Now, you can add that single weight, so both arms will go over your head for single leg stretch. Or you could put one weight in each hand, opposite arm, opposite leg. Once again, you do not need to have your head off the ground. It's a lot more tension on the neck when we use the weights. So you are welcome to keep the head, neck, and shoulders down or take breaks. If you are feeling too much in the low back, you're not going to stretch those legs as long. You might even keep them bent. Make sure, though, that your ribs are pulled down. You can be in a pelvic tilt with that tailbone tucked under. You guys look great. Let's do just a couple more. And then once again, we're going to relax. We're going to pause here. Feet on the ground. I want you to take one weight between your hip bones. So this might not be very comfortable. It's pressing on your organs, right? Especially your colon here. For women, it'll be right between the hips. Men, it might be a little bit higher up, but still below the belly button. If this ends up being too wobbly for anyone, you can also move those weights to your ribs, and that gives a lot of feedback. So you might start with it on your ribs for a second, make sure they're flat, and then move it to your lower abdominals. What you choose. And then you're going to lift the legs tabletop. Again, make sure they didn't sneak in. Fingers to the sky, shoulders pressed down. We're going for toe touch. So as you inhale, move those legs away from the body, opening up that hip angle, but making sure your low back didn't pop up. And exhale, come up nice and slowly. So as you inhale, those legs move away, pause for a moment, and exhale to come back up. If you want to add that next challenge, those weights are giving you awareness on your abdominals. You can take a second weight, again, between the fleshy part of your shins, your calves, and slowly lower. Making sure, as your legs move away, that belly doesn't pop up, please. And then slow it down just a wee bit on the way up. So you're inhaling as those legs move away, nice and slowly. Pause for a moment, exhale, come up a little bit slower. Yeah, now pause, a little slower on that lift, right? It's not a swing, it's just nice and easy. There we go, good, beautiful. All right, 2 more of whether you're doing that with or without weights. And then I want you to hold it in your most challenging position. Pull the belly button a little deeper. Hold here. Back of the neck is long. Can you give that belly button a little more pull in? Hold 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your weights and put them right at your hip creases. So where your legs and your hips basically meet in this position. All right. You're going to take your peace sign fingers on each hand and push down on those weights. So you're not holding the weight with your fist. You're simply pressing those weights down. Bring your big toes to touch, ankles to touch, knees to touch. Pull your ribs down, find that neutral spine. Deep breath in, exhale, lift those hips straight off the ground. So we're in a bridge pose. Heels should be pretty much right underneath your knees. Knees are together as much as possible. You need to have them hip distance apart, then make sure your feet are also hip distance apart. From here, all I want you to do is push the hips an inch higher, lower them about halfway down, but don't change the angle, and lift, and lower, and lift, and lower, and lift. Give those glutes a nice squeeze as you get to the top. Ribs pull down, 4, 3. Notice if your knees are wanting to gap open, don't let them. 2. Last one, stay at the top, go 1 inch higher, 1 inch higher. Little pulse, pulse. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax that down for just a moment. All right. From there, we're going to do bridges, but single leg bridges this time. So ribs are pulled down again. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift straight up. This time, right leg is going to go straight out, not up in the air, but right against your left knee. Try to stabilize there. Push your fingers down. Hips go halfway down, all the way up, and an inch higher. Through center, halfway down, through center, all the way up. Good. So keep that going. That left glute should be working a little harder. Maybe those left hamstrings feel this a bit more. That right leg is glued to the left one. Try to make sure your hips are as even as possible. And bring that right heel down, and then those hips come down. Deep breath in. Exhale, flatten the ribs, pull the abs in, lift those hips, extend that left leg, glue the knees together. Deep breath in, and we lift, and lift, and lift. If you wanted more challenge, you could lift your right toes up in the air and press into that right heel, and then again, you'll really feel that in that right glute and hamstring. Keep that left knee squeezed up against it, the right thigh, 2 and 1, and relax. All right, bring those weights for me onto the fronts of your ankles. You can either have one on each ankle, or you could stack them up and hold there. We're going to start a really small rolling motion by bringing the forehead to the knees, pulling the belly button in, and rounding out the low back, and then just tiny. Now you can stick with that, or you can start getting a little bit more range of motion. With those weights on your ankles, it'll probably make it a little bit easier to come up. Except if you're used to kicking, it won't, because there's a set of weights on your ankles, so you can't kick. 4, 3, abs thrown in, 2, and last one, sit up, hold there for a moment, and then bring those weights to the side. Bring your legs out. Bring your weights right next to your hips. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift yourself up, and then swing those hips backwards. And you should be in a bit of a hinge forward, so spine stretch. Bring your arms out in front of you, shoulders back and down. Remember those posture exercises we did? So try not to round forward, pull back, and then stretch forward and lift, and forward and lift. And then you're just going to go to your range of motion. Bring your hands down wherever they land. Grab hold of the backs of your legs and pull yourself maybe a little deeper without rounding. So sitting up out of those hips and reaching forward. And then we'll sit nice and tall. Okay, we did roll downs at the very beginning. Actually, we did kind of static roll downs. So we're going to do regular roll downs for just a moment. We're going to turn that into a roll up with no weights just to see where we are. Hey, Piper. And then we're going to go from there. Fingers to the sky, shoulders back and down. Exhale, hands out, just like we did at the beginning of the class. Only this time, open the arms if you want for a moment. Exhale, lower them, and come right back up. So instead of holding at the back, we are pausing at the back, but then coming back up. We inhale at the top and the bottom, and we exhale on the movement. If you wanted more challenge, you already know you could go stick up position, right? Or cactus arms. Or you can bring those arms even higher without rounding, right? So you want to keep the ribs in, you don't want to extend, but you also don't want to slouch. So you choose what you want to do with your arms. All right, last one. Now you're just going to do a little experiment. For some of you, if this doesn't work, no worries. We're going to roll back just like we did a moment ago, but we're going to see, could you roll all the way down without lifting your toes off the ground? And then you're going to exhale and try and come up a vertebra at a time. So it's basically a roll up. Inhale at the top, exhale, hinge back, tuck and round, roll down a vertebra at a time. Inhale at the bottom and exhale to lift. So that's a roll up. So sometimes it doesn't work for people. Their feet come off the ground or they have to kick to come up. So let's all just, even if you can do roll ups, go ahead and put a weight in your hand, palm facing up, and the weights are low so that as you roll down, your knuckles are just close to the ground. Inhale at the bottom. On the exhale, slide your hands forward, rolling up a vertebra at a time. So what we just did, we tried to make the lower half of your body a little heavier. And that should have made it easier for some of you to do roll-ups. So now we're going to continue. If you're doing a roll-up, try it with the weights or not. If you can already do roll-ups, you don't have to use the weights. They do make it a little easier, but they're not a lot easier. But they should make it doable for some of you. Now, if you could do roll-ups in the first place, by the way, if you have osteoporosis or low back issues, you're going to stick with that roll down, right? That halfway down and up, please do that. If you want more challenge, try setting, only if you could do roll-ups in the first place, set the weights on your shoulders, roll down a vertebra at a time. When you get to the bottom and you start coming up, if you get stuck, don't do craziness, don't kick your legs out. Bring the palms in front of you and you should be able to come back up. So now you have several options, right? So we can roll down a vertebra at a time using our weights to help us or to create more challenge. Inhaling at the bottom and exhaling to coming right back up. So give me 4 more of whichever version you're doing. Roll downs are fine. Full roll-ups with weights. Good. Nice. When you finish your 4th one, go ahead and sit at the front and then turn towards me, please. And then you're going to have those weights handy. And you're going to be on your bottom elbow with your shoulder above that elbow. You're going to push back, lift up, and pull those lats to engage them. Grab one weight and make sure it's handy. So side planks, options are, if you're going to stay on the sides of your thighs, you don't want the knees forward. You want them in line. And you lift up and all 10 toes are up in the air. Or from there, you could go to that wide straddle, close straddle, or stack your feet. Then I want you to grab your weight and put it on your top leg. And again, we're not holding the weight, we're holding the weight on the leg. And then from there, we're going to lift an inch, tiny lift, tiny lift, tiny lift. So once again, this weight doesn't weigh a lot, but it should add enough extra weight that you really notice this side plank. 3, 2, and 1, come down. Leave that weight where it is, lie all the way down. Bend your knees, stack your hips, stack your knees, stack your heels. Option to add that second weight. And again, you don't want to hold the weights, you just want to put your palm down to hold the weights, on your legs. All right, so as always in this position, you want to make sure you have a mouse house, right? A little lift at that waistline. And then big toes are going to spread apart, and so our heels are together. We're in a Pilates V with our feet, and we lift that top leg to a little bit more than hip height. Lower it so you still have a few inches between your knees, and lift again. So I'm never collapsing that knee all the way down and going into rest. I'm going to lift and come halfway down, and lift and come halfway down. Check on your waistline. Is it lifted off the ground? Are your heels still together? So it's a pivoting open motion, right? Knees separate. Nice. Now keep the leg open, straighten the leg on the exact angle you have it, right? So my left or my top leg is right over my bottom leg. Bottom leg can rest now. Top leg, straight leg lift. So mine is out at about a 45-degree angle. Waistline is still off the ground. You should feel this love in your outer hip. Two more. All right, listen up. Remove those weights from the top leg. Take the top leg and place it behind you, bend that knee. Bottom leg, bring the weights onto it and straighten it out on the same angle you just had with your top leg. So bottom leg is out, top leg is behind you, but don't have it so far back that you pivot your hips, right? So nice and snug. Now, lift that waistline, hold the weights on your bottom leg, flex through the heel, and again, we're gonna lift and lower, but we're never touching that leg all the way down to the ground. You should feel this in your inner thigh pretty quickly. Good, Roseanne, perfect. Perfect form. Piper, you crack me up. I hope y'all are feeling these. Relax, or excuse me, don't relax. Hold it at the top. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1, and now relax. Weights off, and over to the other side you go, please. Remember, we started with that side plank. So again, elbow right underneath your shoulder, push the shoulder back, lift up out of it, pull your abs in. Options on the sides of your thighs. If you do that, all 10 toes are up in the air. Wide straddle, close straddle, or stack. And then last time we did one weight, but you can certainly do 2 if you want. Fingers hold down, press up against it. Try to be in a long straight line. We have a tendency to push our hips back and our chest forward. So tuck your hips and open your chest. And gently come down. Bend both knees, grab both weights, put them on your top thigh. Knees are stacked, hips are stacked, ribs are off the ground. Heels are together, toes are apart, so I've got my feet in that little Pilates V. And then pivot open. Sorry.
So doctor, before I ask you about vaccines, when your thoughts on the president taking hydroxychloroquine, why would any doctor be giving that to him?
Technology, just talking to, oh my gosh, talking to themselves. Okay, last one, straighten that top leg, hands are still on those weights, and we lift, So that leg is right over the other knee, waistline is lifted. Beautiful. Now that bottom or top leg is going to bend. Put the weights on the bottom leg. Open that knee so you're not way back here, but your hips stay stacked. Straighten out the bottom leg. Hold the weights in place and we lift. So inner thigh, straight lift. Is your waistline still off the ground? And relax. All right, all the way over onto your abdominals, please. Sit the weights on each side of your hip so that they'll be handy. Okay. Palms are facing the sky, and the weights are resting in those palms. Toes are pointed, and all 10 toenails are on the ground. First thing I want you to do is bring your heels to touch, and then open them up. Heels to touch, and open them up. So this is what I'm doing. If you can't see, pigeon-toed and touch, pigeon-toed and touch. 2 more. And then keep those heels together. Slide those shoulders out of your ears, lift your shoulder blades up, lift your arms up, stretch them long, pull your belly button in, exhale, lift up, reach to your fingers long, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your arms an inch, and exhale down. Deep breath in, exhale, reach to the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chest, squeeze, reach, and bring it down. Deep breath in, exhale, lift, squeeze, reach on the inhale, and exhale down. Keep that going. Exhale, reach, squeeze, lift. Inhale at the top, and exhale down. 4 more like that. Exhale, reach, squeeze, lift. Last time, reach, squeeze, lift, hold, squeeze, lift, and relax. You may have felt that just a little bit in those triceps. That would be awesome. Okay, one weight is just going to stay out of the way, and the other weight is going between your feet. And then bring those legs down as best you can. Stack your hands, rest your forehead there. All right, so holding on to that weight between your feet, you're going to bend the knees. We're going to make life a little easier, right? Well, maybe not easier. All right, so pull the belly button in. Give yourself a little bit of a pelvic tilt. Lift your feet an inch. So you're trying to lift your thighs off the ground as you lift your legs, and you hold onto the weight. And lift. And lift. Good. And lift. And lift. This is just a little warm up for things to come. And lift. And lift. And 2 and 1. And relax that down. Shoulders out of your ears. We're going to prop ourselves up on our elbows for a moment. Back of the neck is nice and long. Lift your chest. From there, couple options for your planks. Tuck your toes, bend your knees, keep your knees on the ground for just a second. Or pivot your toes up in the air. Or hover your knees 1/4 inch. Or straighten the legs completely. Roll your thumbs to the sky. Make sure that your arms are apart. You're pressing through the heels. Your abs are pulled in. Head is in line with your spine. Ribs are pulled in. Back of the neck is long. Strong, strong, strong on your plank. Press through the heels. Keep the quads lifted. Pull the belly button in. Back of the neck is long. And gently come down. We're going to press back in our resting position. Arms can be out front. They can be down by your sides. You can make little fists to give yourself a little extra space for your stretch. All right. As I said a moment ago, a little preview of things to come, and that is we're going to work our booties just a wee bit. So we're going to come onto all fours, and if you want to face your camera, that will give you an idea of if your hips are swaying side to side. So for now, let's put that weight behind the left knee. Now, at any point, you are certainly welcome to come down to your elbows, but just be aware, if you do that, keep your abs in. Same thing, of course, if you're up here. You can have your arms wide if you want so that you can see your hips better, or you could bring them really narrow so you can see your hips. Okay, as you are ready, bring that left heel. So I'm bringing that left heel really close to my booty, not way out here. So close the heel towards the hip. So you'll feel some hamstring already. Shoulders out of your ears. And then lift that left leg. Try and get the quad parallel with the ground. Option, point the toe so that you see the toe come right over your head. What? Can you see your toe over your head? Good. Or you can flex through the heel and you probably won't see your toe. If you're lucky, you'd see your heel. I don't know. But I want you to notice, did you shoot your right hip to the side? Square those up. Gently bring that down for just a second. Okay, here's the one where your hips are really going to want to move to the right. So we're gonna do a little fire hydrant, but the more I lift the leg, the more I tend to rock into my right hip. So I want you to find that magic area where you can keep your right hip straight in line and lift that left leg. And then even at the top, can you lift your knee higher than your heel? So I lift and then I rotate, right? Now when I do that little rotation, that's what wants to happen. So see if you can do it without that hip rotating, that right hip rotating, left hip does. But find that place where you can kind of keep both in control. This one is one that should sneak up on you a little bit tomorrow. 2 more. And last one. Bring that down. Bring that weight behind your right knee, please. Point your right toes, and again, don't have your foot way away from your booty. Bring that heel towards your hip. And then try to lift that quad so it's parallel with the ground, and then point the toe so that toe travels above your head. If you can see that toe coming right above your head. Or you can flex through the heel. And bring that down. Take a quick breath. Lift that right leg to the right. Notice if you're sitting in your left hip, bring it back to center and lift. When you come to the top, see if you can rotate open a little bit. Lift, rotate open a little bit. Now you might find one side is way better at stabilizing than the other. Two more. I didn't forget you. And relax. Ooh, we're going back over on our spine. We will stretch those hips out in just a moment. Legs long, arms overhead, long stretch for just a moment, please. Deep breath in. Exhale, pull your ribs down, grab your weights. One in each hand this time. Lengthen your arms all the way up overhead so that the edges of the dumbbells can actually rest on the ground. And notice if your ribs popped. So now I want you to find those abdominal muscles where you can pull the ribs down. I still have a little bit of arch under the low back, and that's fine. You can keep your toes pointed or you can flex through your heels. When you flex, your low back will get closer to the ground. You stay pointed, a little more challenged. From there, arms come straight above you. Keep the ribs pulled in. So as you inhale, arms go up overhead. As you exhale, they come over your chest. But as you do this, the ribs don't go flare up, pull down, flare up, pull down. They stay down the whole time. The challenge is when your arms go up over your head that you don't let those ribs pop up. Back of the neck is long, and we're going to add on in just a moment. Good. Keep your arms over your head, weights just barely above the ground. Pull those ribs in, bend the elbows, fingers to the sky, straighten the elbows, straighten, tiny pulsing of the triceps, and push and push. Listen carefully. Turn your palms to the sky, knuckles toward your face. Continue this tricep movement. Keep your ribs flat. One more time, pinkies to the sky, and then rotate the opposite way, what we call a French press, but no coffee coming out of here, sorry. Knuckles down, or excuse me, knuckles up, palms down, 2 and 1. Back to the pinkies to the sky. We're going to add those things together. Bend the elbows, straighten the elbows, bring them over your chest. Up and over, bend, straighten, and lift. Up and over, bend, straighten, and lift. Up and over, bend, straighten, lift. While you're doing that, what is going on here in your abdominals? If you got too much discomfort in your low back, you're going to do this with a bent knee position. Absolutely fine to do that. That'll help you keep that pelvic tilt a little better or that neutral spine better. Couple more here. Ribs in. Last two. And last one, arms out into a T position. Leave your weights over on each side because we will use those in just a second. Bring your knees into your chest, put one arm around each leg, and let them take a little rock side to side, please. Good. Let's stretch out the right leg and leave the left leg in towards your left armpit. And let's take the right weight and put it behind that leg. Grab the sides of the dumbbell, and you can use that to pull that knee in even closer. Then you're going to flex through that left heel, and keeping the rib and the thigh touching each other, lift that left heel to the sky. And then roll that weight up your calf, point your toes, and let the leg bring you part of the way up, and then flex to the heel to come back down. And point to lift, and flex to come back down. Keep the knee bent, or bend the knee, put the weight on the outside of that left leg, and bring it just a little of the way away, ways across your chest towards your right shoulder. Put your left hand on that left hip to keep it down. You should start to feel an outer hip stretch here. And then bring that left weight, or that weight in your left hand over to the left. Slide your fingers under both weights. And then your left knee goes to your right. Big, gigantic twist here. While you're over there, tuck your right leg behind it. As you come back to center, you're in that crisscross position. Bring your knees into your chest and put that weight on the outside shin. Should be your right shin. It's the bottom leg, but it's lower shin. All right, and a little rock side to side. And now we're going to do that exact same twist that we just did, only we're going to keep the knees bent this time. Cross together, knees drop right. Big stretch. Let that left shoulder get a nice opening here. And then use that right elbow to push everything back through center. Straighten your legs out. And just see if maybe that left side might feel a little flatter to the ground. Bring your right weight back over to the right. Bring your right knee into a bent knee position. Grab hold of it for a moment. Give it a tug in. And then grab your left weight. And put that behind the right hamstring, please. Pull it in nice and close, using the weight to get the rib and the thigh to touch. Flex through the right heel and push it to the sky. Keep that thigh-to-knee connection. Nope, keep that thigh-to-rib connection. I hope the thigh-to-knee connection does stay. Pull that up to your leg, point the toes, reach yourself up, roll yourself back, flexing. Reach yourself up, pointing, and pull back, flexing. Bend the knee, put the weight on the outside of the right leg, right arm to the side, and get a nice little twist here, or put your right hand on that right hip and keep it down. And then as you're ready for the full twist, you can bring that all the way over, or you can put both weights to the right. While you're over there, tuck your left knee behind your right, use your left elbow, push everything back through center. Knees back through center, put your weight on your left shin. Take a little rock side to side. And then again, both weights to the right, and knees drop left again, please. Nice long twist across your right shoulder, right hip, right outer thigh. And then as you come back through center, you're going to straighten everything out. Hopefully both sides of the body, both hips feel a little more open. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Pull your belly button in. Exhale, roll halfway up and then over to one side. And from there, we're going all the way over onto our hands and knees for a little cat-cow action. You are welcome to unmute yourselves if you want to meow and moo with me.
I'm in the mood.
Here we go. Deep breath in. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone under. Pull your belly button in. Roll up into your screaming cat. Meow, meow, meow. And open to your cow. Beautiful. Exhale, cat. Meow. Meow. And inhale, cow. Shoulders out of your ears, back of the neck is nice and long. Tuck your toes, lift your booty up first. Pedal your legs out, one heel down at a time. Drop yourself all the way over. Nod your head yes, take it no. And then bend your knees so much that you can bring your ribs just above your thighs. Flat back. Exhale to round. Meow.
Meow.
Thank you. Inhale, cow.
Oh. Ooh.
From there, shoulders out of your ears. Big, deep breath in. Don't go away. We have more exhale. Thank you, guys. Happy Memorial Day weekend. If you are still with me, join me for a wee bit more trivia and